Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Liam from Push Square, and this week Microsoft announced the price and release date for both of their next-gen consoles, the Xbox Series X and their recently revealed Xbox Series S. Both consoles will launch on the 10th of November and will cost $499 or £449 for the more powerful Xbox Series X and $299 and £249 for the slightly less powerful Xbox Series S. So Microsoft blinked first. We now know the release date and the price of both of their next-gen systems. PlayStation, meanwhile, are remaining tight-lipped. The company no doubt already have grand plans for their eventual reveal, and we'll see that in September, I'm sure. But in the meantime, we decided to ask our community how much they'd be willing to pay for a PlayStation 5. So in this video, we'll be discussing potential prices that our community would be willing to pay for a PlayStation 5, and we'll also have a little bit of a chat about when and indeed how PlayStation will finally reveal this information. Before we start, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, it would really help us out. So considering the only thing that anyone can talk about at the moment is the PlayStation 5 price and release date, including us. I mean, you've seen the last few videos I've done. It's mainly what I've been talking about because it's all I can think about. We decided to ask readers of our website how much they'd be willing to pay for both the PlayStation 5 Standard Edition and the PlayStation 5 Digital Edition, in light of the recently revealed Xbox Series X and S prices. So first up, we asked, how much would you pay for the PlayStation 5? Nearly 12,000 people got in touch, and the results were fairly expected, to be honest. 13% of those who responded said between $350 and $399. 19% said between $400 and $449. 34% said between $450 and $499, and 12% said between $500 and $549. This makes a lot of sense, seeing as though the Xbox Series X will retail for $499, it makes sense that a lot of PlayStation gamers are willing to pay around the same amount for the PlayStation 5. Obviously, it would be a nice surprise if Sony manages to undercut Microsoft and sell the PlayStation 5 for $25 to $50 cheaper. I think if Sony position themselves as a next-gen console that is as powerful as the Xbox Series X and costs $50 less, the optics of that decision will make a big difference for consumers in the run-up to launch. However, we really have no idea if Sony are even capable of doing this. We understand that the internal hardware of the PlayStation 5 is expensive, and chances are the company will be selling the PlayStation 5 at a loss even if they do retail it for the same price as the Xbox Series X. It would be very surprising if the company went over that $500 mark, even if 12% of people who responded to this poll would be happy to pay that. So I think a price range between $400 and $449 would make a lot of sense. Of course, if Sony decided to be really disruptive and they came out and said the PlayStation 5 costs $399, well, they would win the price war before it even began, effectively. But the chances of this happening are incredibly slim. Sony would be taking a huge loss if that was the case, and I just can't see them doing it. I think there's as much chance that the system will cost under $400 as there is that it will cost over $500, to be honest. Considering the company has presumably been waiting all this time for Microsoft to show their hand in terms of price, it wouldn't surprise me if the PlayStation 5 is like $30 cheaper than the Xbox Series X. It just feels at this point they were waiting to just undercut them ever so slightly. So I guess it might retail for $470, $450 maybe, I don't know. It would just feel weird for them to wait for Microsoft to announce things first and then turn around and say it's more expensive or the same price. But it might be the same price. They might have literally just been waiting to see what the Xbox Series X was going to cost and then slap the same price on the PlayStation 5. I know I mention it all the time, but Sony don't want a repeat of the PlayStation 3 launch. They don't. They'll be terrified if that same thing happening again. So yeah, $499 to $450, I think, is probably the price that we can all expect the baseline standard edition console to launch for. As for the digital edition, we asked again how much would you pay for the PlayStation 5 digital edition. 9% said between $250 and $299. 16% said between $300 and $349. 29% said between $350 and $399, and 16% said between $400 and $449. This is a little bit more interesting for me because the digital edition has the exact same tech as the version that comes with a disc tray. So considering all you're really losing is the Blu-ray player, the digital edition will cost Sony kind of the same amount as the standard PlayStation 5. However, saying that, I would expect the digital edition of the PlayStation 5 to retail between $350 and $399, which is what most of the people who responded to this poll would be happy to pay. I think Sony will sell the digital edition at a massive loss compared to the main PlayStation 5, because once they sell a digital edition PlayStation 5, the user is trapped within PlayStation's ecosystem. If you want to buy a game, you've got to do it through the PlayStation Store. There's no wasted revenue buying pre-owned games from your local game store. Every single penny and cent you spend on the digital edition will be going right into the pocket of Sony, so I wouldn't be surprised if the digital edition was $100 cheaper. I do not think it will be between $250 and $299. I apologise to the 9% that are hoping for that. However, I do think that the Xbox Series S is going to make the digital edition PlayStation 5 look like a bad value proposition from here on out. To everyone watching this video, we all understand that the PlayStation 5 digital edition is a PlayStation 5 without a Blu-ray drive. That's all it is. And we also know that an Xbox Series S is a weaker next-gen system prioritized for 1080p displays, and that if you're looking for a console that can output true 4K, beautiful next-gen games, you're going to have to buy an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5. But, and I think this is really important when it comes to how these companies will perform after the console's launch, I think that the majority of parents this Christmas, when their kids ask, can I have a next-gen system, they're going to look at the digital editions, which are cheaper. They're going to see that the new Xbox is only £250 compared to the PlayStation 5's digital edition, which is £350, and they're going to go, well, this is a no-brainer, I'm going to buy the Xbox. Because it doesn't matter how much we know the differences between these systems at the end of the day, what matters is how these things are marketed and how much they cost. Sony now have an uphill battle to make the general public aware that both of their systems are as powerful as one another. One of them just doesn't have a Blu-ray drive. I do think that Sony will be scrambling right now to produce marketing material that differentiates the Xbox Series S from the PlayStation 5 digital edition, and they are going to have to try and justify that potential $100 difference between the two. But yeah, I think $350 to $399 sounds about right for how much that digital edition will cost. So before we wrap up today, let's have a little chat about what Sony's plans are for revealing the PlayStation 5 release date and price. We here at Push Square believe that the company probably has an event planned, similar to the one Sony did in June, where they showed off PlayStation 5 games and the console itself. We believe this event will give them the opportunity to not only announce the price and release date of the system, but will also allow them to position the console as the place for gamers. For instance, a full reveal event allows them to announce new games, things like potentially the long-rumoured Uncharted and Silent Hill sequels. It will also allow them to show off gameplay of potential launch titles, such as the Demon's Souls remake and Spider-Man Miles Morales, games we have yet to see in action at this point in time. By focusing on games that are available at launch and games that will launch within the first 12 months of the console's lifespan will be a very important tactic for the company to distinguish themselves from the Xbox Series X and S. The PlayStation 4 has thrived on first-party exclusives, and the PlayStation 5 will be no different. It also gives the company the opportunity to show off the system's UI and other new features, which Microsoft have already showcased for the X, such as Quick Resume. An event that showcases everything we can expect on the day that we unbox our shiny new consoles would really get people excited for the PlayStation 5's launch in November. There's just so much for Sony to reveal, and that makes it very exciting indeed. So how much would you pay for a PlayStation 5? How much would you pay for a PlayStation 5 Digital Edition? Are you considering jumping over to the Xbox Series X or S? Let us know all of this and more in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and make sure to subscribe to Push Square for everything PlayStation and indeed PlayStation 5. Thank you, as always, for watching.